No mahara mai, piki mahara mai, ki te Waka Houora o te Ngahere. Mobilising for Action, Forest Health in Aotearoa. Kia ora koutou, I'm Mark Harvey, and our article was written by me with McEntee and Mullen. The situation for us in Aotearoa is that we have forest pathogens at the moment. Kauri dieback that is killing kauri, and myrtle rust that is killing a number of species in our forests, including Aotearoa. We have come to this paper engaging with the human dimensions of these forest pathogens because Western science alone is not enough to engage with this. And we've also come to this paper engaging with artistic research-based approaches. We begin with Te Tiriti o Waitangi in our country, and it basically means that Māori retain sovereignty but in partnership with the Crown in Aotearoa. In the forest ecology area, it definitely hasn't been honoured often until recently. Recognising this, our previous government created Ngā Rako Taketake, focusing on human dimensions and science dimensions of forest health and kauri dieback and myrtle rust. And under this, Mobilising for Action was one of the projects, a transdisciplinary project involving Māori and non-Māori in partnership, and it involved co-design, involved a range of different disciplines, social scientists, mātauranga Māori, Māori knowledge specialists, artists, journalists, scientists, ecologists, community, iwi hapu, Māori communities, and schools, amongst others. A driving aspect for us was our research framework, which we developed in consultation and guidance of a kaumātua, an elder from a northern iwi, Ngatiwai, Hori Parata. The Waka Houora is a double hull waka, as a metaphor for partnership between Māori and non-Māori towards addressing a goal. On the one side, we've got mātauranga Māori, which means Māori knowledge. And on the other side is Western knowledge. And in the middle is this concept of whakapono, which means to bring everything together. We came up with several projects. The first one is Toi to Te Ngahere, which is a project where we engaged with 5 schools around the Auckland and wider regions. We looked at how the arts could be used as a catalyst to empower school students around these themes of kauri dieback and myrtle rust. And we also brought in mātauranga Māori, guidance from mana whenua, local iwi tribes. One of our schools was Kauri Park, and at Kauri Park School, the students and the staff were very alienated by not being involved in the decision-making behind why their local forest park was closed off because of kauri dieback. So the students and us, after doing arts projects for nearly a year, bringing in scientists and various others, the students and staff expressed that they felt alienated around why their park was closed. So we brought in local council staff responsible for some of the decision making, had them all sitting around together with us. Each other heard each other's concerns and together brainstormed around how we could address the situation. One example of one of their areas of signage was a container that they have created around their school to help educate families and locals around why that park is closed off. The next project was Toitaio Whakatairanga. And Toitaio Whakatairanga, we curated 9 Māori artists around these themes to engage with their communities and the wider public and to see what Māori knowledge could bring in. The arts are not separate from other forms of knowledge in Te Ao Māori. They're integrated. One example of a project was Tānea Ruka. She had her mother create karakia, which is a blessing for myrtle rust. And the karakia invites myrtle rust to go where it needs to go to find its place. In Te Ao Māori, we don't necessarily exclude everything. We find places for living things. Everything belongs somewhere. And that led to a whole lot of projects like video game, a graphic novel made by Aotearoa Novak, and various other things. Those are some examples of mobilising for action. From our findings, Mobilising for Action's projects have contributed to increased reciprocal relations between humans and more than human communities, as well as deeper understandings of Mātauranga Māori and related practices. They've catalysed passion and commitment, empowering community members to care for forests, enhancing embodied and spiritual interconnectedness, supporting Māori self-determination and autonomy, and advancing epistemic justice for all beings. Kia ora everybody, and thank you for listening and watching.